So, continuing on this week with how to fix mistakes, I've got a little swatch of garter stitch here. And as you know, garter stitch is the same on either side, and how you determine which side you want to be. Your right side is the side the cast on you like. This has the bumpy side of the cast on. This has the smooth side of the cast on. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Now, when you drop a stitch, on one side it's going to look like this. It's very clear that something has gone amiss here. On the other side, it's a little harder to tell, and really only if you stretch it can you see where that stitch has been dropped. If you see that right there, there's just one stitch instead of the two that the other have, you've got a problem. Now, if this were my right side, I probably wouldn't even notice it. It is a little different, but not significantly enough. On this side, you definitely notice it. Now, to fix a stitch in garter stitch, you're going to have to do two different things, because on one side of the stitch it's going to be knitwise, and on the other way it's going to be purlwise, and so you have to use slightly different technique. Now, I'm going to work up to where that drop stitch is, and just like with the stockinette, I'm going to let it ladder down, and there it is, right there. That's where it is. So I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to get my crochet hook or tapestry needle or whatever I want to use, and I'm going to ladder down. Okay, and here I am at the spot where that stitch has been dropped. Now, on this side, what I'm missing is it's got to look like a purl. So I'm going to come from behind and I'm going to pick up the drop stitch so that I create a purl bump. And on the next one, it's going to be like a knit stitch. Now, if I look at these, how do I know which way to pick it up? If the strand between is kind of behind the work, I'm going to use a knit technique. If the strand is on the front, I'm going to use a purl. Behind, on front, on front. So I'm going to go pick that up like a knit stitch, and I'm going to make sure that that one's in front, and I'm going to pull it that way. Oops, whoops, whoops. Don't want to lose any of my current stitches. Knitwise, and what some people like to do is they find it easier to pick up knitwise the whole way, and if that's the case, you're just going to turn it over to the other side. I prefer to do it this way, and there we go. Now, unlike stockinette, it doesn't seem like it affects the tension all that much where you have that drop stitch. Because if you remember from last week, stockinette, when you pick up that strand, it can really screw things up. It looks pretty good. Let's look at it on the other side. Stretch it. Yeah, looks pretty good. And that's how you fix a drop stitch and garter stitch.